All right. Well, here we are. Welcome, ladies. If you're watching live or the replay, thanks for being here. I'm super excited to have Shannon with me today, who's a massage therapist. And we're going to have a really fun and informative conversation about supporting our faith and fitness through massage. So glad you're here. And Shannon, I'm just going to ask you to go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you and then we'll get into our conversation.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for inviting me, Gina. So, uh, when I was in undergrad in Michigan, which is a long time ago, like 25 years ago, I decided it would be a good idea for me to just go to massage therapy school one summer anyway, while I was doing organic chemistry. It's like, it'll be a good um, side job to have. It'll be good for someday when I'm a wife to know how to, give a good massage, and it'll be good for getting into med school because I was on that path. So I completed that and worked as a massage therapist as a side job for about 4 years, 2 years into med school, and then went into rotations. I didn't really have time anymore, and then worked as a physician for the past 16 years until my job, well, just to put it shortly, just like went away with the Air Force. So then I was like, what am I going to do now? I didn't really want to be a doctor in New Mexico on the civilian side. So looked at my options, and among the five or so choices that I was, deciding among, massage therapy just came out as the most obvious, best path. It allows me to work in a almost no stress atmosphere. I have complete control over my schedule. I don't have the stress of a boss or employees. I still get to heal people on a daily basis, and I have plenty of time for my family. So, and it still makes enough. It's not near what I was making as a physician, but it's enough, and God will provide, and that is a good thing. So,
Amen. That's good. And isn't it awesome how he prepared you years ago for what you would be doing now? I love it when he does that.
right?
Like nothing is wasted, and we don't always know right away what it's going to be for, but he's so good.
Yes. Yeah, and don't forget too that the being a doctor helped me be a better massage therapist too, especially as an osteopathic physician, where we do more holistic care. We do adjustments kind of with like the uh, we'll say manipulation of the anatomy so that we have better alignment. And so I was able to take those and transfer them into this job as well.
That's awesome. So you come in very educated and knowledgeable about the human body and all of that. That's so good. All right, so I want to know how your faith influences your massage therapy business, and if it's
Okay, how that influences my business. So, I, well, first of all, it was complete trust in him that led me to starting my business here. So it's like, you should make a very low number, having a massage therapy studio out of your home the first year. It wouldn't have been enough, and he has uh, provided more than I could have asked or imagined there, and that's been very helpful and wonderful. Um, on my intake form, not the initial one, but the follow-up ones, I send a form out before every session where they fill out like, how do you want your massage customized to this session? Like, where are you having issues? What music do you want? Do you want heat on the table? And multiple other things. It's quick, but still makes it very customized and exactly what you're looking for. One of the questions on there is if you want me to pray for you during the massage. So I'll do that either, the option is it going to be out loud, I can pray silently during, or there's simply the no thank you, which some people that's their choice and I don't push it. Yeah. Even during the massage, if you wanted to, you could have worship music, or we'll call it Hobby Lobby music, where it's the Christian music without the words, if
right.
that is helpful for you. Um, I will say a lot of women will select that, thinking that, oh yeah, I'm a Christian, I need to pick this one, Christian choice on there, which, sometimes that's the best answer, and sometimes you really just need the spa music to let the anxiety just go away. Like, just let everything go, everything. And that really peaceful, calming music has an ability to do that uh, even better sometimes. Save the worship music for the drive here and the drive home. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
yeah.
yeah, if that is you, so yeah,
Well, and I've heard that too. So, like, maybe like for worship leaders or whatever, like if they're speaking, that it's best to play a song that people aren't going to necessarily recognize, so that they're listening instead of
and
like
not singing in
singing
their head.
along ahead. Yeah. So maybe it's
Yep.
the same thing, same kind of principle, I guess.
Yes.
They can fully relax and be less engaged mentally, or that's
Yeah.
cool. Wow. And so then I would imagine that you do believe that faith can support us. I mean, massage can support us in our faith and fitness journeys. Like if we're trying to pursue fitness to the glory of God and care for ourselves in a way that we're stewarding our bodies and tending to our spirits and our souls.
Yes. Absolutely. So uh, we learn through the Bible that Jesus often took time to go away by himself, have time to himself to rest and pray, right? It doesn't mention he was getting massages. It doesn't even mention massage anywhere in the Bible, of course. But human touch is beneficial. And if Jesus, in the busyness of his mission, was able to take time aside frequently for himself to rest, recover, recuperate, uh, how much more should we? Our missions are not near as important or busy as his, even though we think they are sometimes. But just let that be a little reminder. Jesus took time to rest. I need to take time to rest too. With that, I'm going to put a little plug. This is something else that I just have a passion for too. Uh, is Sabbath, and how our society feels like, oh, it's not. The honoring the Sabbath as a true day of rest is obsolete, and because Jesus, healed on the Sabbath, so that means we don't need to do it at all. And I think he still took the time to rest. He still mostly honored the Sabbath, but if there was a time when honoring a person in their needs for a brief amount of time like that, he took time for that to show that people are more important and love is surpasses all, and right. But that doesn't mean we can work our entire day instead of having the time for rest. I don't take mine on Sundays. I'm a Monday person at this point, but yeah, just to be like, no, this is important. I need to rest. My body needs this. There's study after study showing that it is actually beneficial for us as well. So along those lines, what a great time to go get a massage.
Yes, I would definitely agree. Yeah, and we do. We need those rhythms. Like, think that God set that up in creation, right? With the Sabbath rest, and just
It's a
resting from our
gift.
work. And it is a gift. And I always marvel at how creation was always He created at evening and then the morning, and like kind of we rest and then go into our work. And so rest days help us do better at our work. Really, I think. So yeah, awesome. And so let's talk about some of the primary benefits of massage for women who are seeking to steward their bodies. Like, what are those primary benefits? Obviously, rest, we've talked about a little bit, but
Yeah. So it allows time for recovery of both your mind and your body, right? So our bodies hold stress in so many different ways. Whether it's just the tension or just that sense of like fullness and overwhelm that you kind of feel in your mind, uh, anxiety, all these things that come together. So being able to set aside time very specifically, like this is my time when I'm going to spend to rest and recover. Your God made your body as a good creation that deserves to be cared for. So care for it, right? It's a way that we thank him for giving us these amazing bodies. Um, so when you are in for your massage, can you allow your mind to just be quiet? Probably not, right? How long can you think about nothing? Like for 5 seconds as a woman, right? Um, So something that I do want to recommend that you do, and this is actually something I learned through yoga. It doesn't mean it can't be applied here. Um, is to choose an intention. So, and if you're like, whether that's, a reason for doing it, or if it is a verse or a prayer, or it's just something short, it's like a few words that you can keep coming back to. Uh, and so when you notice your mind going away, come back to that. Come back to that. And that helps, even though it's thinking about something, it's thinking about the same thing in a meditative way, that the repetition can become calming with that. So then being able to let the music that's playing, let the touch that's happening, just allow your body to release, like remind yourself, this is a good thing. This is a good thing. I deserve this. My body needs this. This is healthy. And yeah, so then both light and deep pressures are good for allowing the stress to release in your body to heal. So, 'cause that's, a huge part of it. So the benefits, I didn't actually answer your question yet. So the benefits, I would say, relaxation, realigning the body. If you're coming in for a medical reason, so sometimes you come in because you need relaxation, sometimes it's because you're having specific pains, you have a chronic issue, there's, migraines. So, finding a therapist who can work on those specific issues, like, of course, those are going to be benefits, right? Oh, hey, we, you know, improved your or took your headache from being, an 8 down to a 2. That's a win, right? Oh, you can, sleep through the night without waking up to restless leg syndrome. So things like that. Um, yeah, so it helps increase blood flow, return the lymph, and all that allows the metabolites from to get moved throughout your body and processed and moved out of your body. So, um, and so the different styles of massage that you can receive will also impact the benefit that they have on your body. So, do you need something that just really brings down the chaos? So when I have usually I sense it when they come in the door, or they'll put it on their form. I need relaxation. Sometimes relaxation, for me, when I go in, typically that means I want a deep tissue massage. But for most women, there's different forms, and so. Uh, I would say, Lomi Lomi, which is a Hawaiian massage. It's very flowing. It's still relatively deep. It's a slow moving. The woman I saw today was like, "Oh, it's like waves coming over at me." I've had somebody else say, "It's like when you're a child and when you have a nightmare, you go to your mom in the middle of the night. She just holds you. It's that type of comfort that he said he got from Lomi Lomi." And I was like, "How cool!" Like what? Yeah, um, it's just interesting things, right? And it is designed to be rhythm like the waves. Like I said, it's a Hawaiian massage, so that's one that I just feel like at the end of this massage, everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, I actually feel relaxed. This is the most relaxed I've ever been in my life." Was you hear that more than I expected to when I started it. Um, so some other styles who were while we're on that topic, being able to work deeply to reduce like that tension. Like if you're somebody who just I have my shoulders up, my pecs are squeezed all the time, I can't, no flexibility in my hips because I'm storing so much stress there. I wake up and I'm achy everywhere, my body hurts, things like that. Like being able to work those things out with a deep tissue massage, which can be, with um, straight, like I use my forearm and my elbow very, very frequently when I'm giving massages. Um, but to find somebody who knows their anatomy really well as a therapist while doing that massage so that it isn't hurting you, it should never be a bad hurt. Always speak up if it is, keep it within the good hurt. Um, and then another way that I'll do the deep pressure is through something called ashiatsu. And the version I do, so ashiatsu means foot pressure. So we actually are using our feet as our tool to give the massage. The version I do is called deep feet bar therapy. You can see the bars up on the ceiling. So I will stand on the table with, clean feet. I'll have my, there's a whole sanitary protocol that we do with this. But it's like getting a Swedish massage, but with the depth, uh, with the feet that is just, it's just wonderful. Because it's like with such a broad surface that it doesn't feel pointy or painful. So yeah, so that helps again to flush and just really relax everything as you move the body in a way it probably hasn't been moved before. So yeah,
I don't think I've never experienced that for myself for sure. And then I never heard of it until you were like getting certified for it and stuff. So
yeah.
I love
And
that.
there's a handful of people that that do it in most major cities, so you can look it up like that. And then, like I mentioned, that intake form to customize. So I'll have it where you're like, well, I don't know if I really want that or not. I've been, yeah, it's an expensive massage. I don't think I want to pay, or I don't know if I would want to dedicate it to that. So I have like, oh, do you want to try it for 10 minutes? Do you want to do, just work on the area that you have issues? Do you want to do a full session or just nothing at all with that? So again, giving that option to be like, okay, 10 minutes and you decide if you like it or not. Yeah. Anyway, part of how I run things here. So yeah.
I love that because sometimes we need the variety, right? I think, I think a lot of it ties into like how you do your workouts, right? Your body needs different things at different times, and then sometimes you
Exactly.
need a variety in a session. You
Mhm.
start with a warm up and you finish with a really good stretch, and it's
Yes.
you should always do
Yeah.
that, but like it's fun to add a lot of variety in there sometimes.
Yes. And now I'm gonna add on to that. The last session I just had one this morning, and I'll talk about this later. She's one of my women who actually books the longest session, and we did 5 different styles during uh, the 2 hours plus that she was getting her treatment.
Wow.
And for her, it was really neat for a first session because I'm like, okay, this is great because it's time, you have time here to try out all these different things. You learn what you like, how these different things affect you and make you feel. And that way, on the next one, you can be like, I want to focus on, Lomi Lomi and the Ashiatsu this time. I just want to focus on, deep tissue, just to be able to pick and choose and know what you're picking and choosing from. So I thought it was really cool that she started her first session with me with all these things. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you touched on an important thing of like being able to communicate with the massage therapist that you're working with. And I think for someone on the table, it might feel a little intimidating, like maybe they don't want to speak up. So, like, can you just give some encouragement for the person that might be on the table and like either it's not enough pressure or it's too much pressure or whatever
Neat.
style you're doing isn't working? Like, how could we handle that graciously?
Yes. Okay. So, and that's what, when people come in, that's one of my first things I tell them is I give them the little rundown. And the last thing is you only have one job while you're here, and that is to let me know if you want anything done differently. So if there's anything I'm doing that's, hits the bad hurt, or if you just don't like just or want different in any way, just say so. Just say so and I'll adjust it. I want you to leave and be like, that was the most amazing massage I've ever had. And okay, so hopefully your therapist checks in with you a few times and says, hey, is this not just is the pressure okay, but do you want more or less? Because if I ask it that way, you're more likely to say, yeah, I would like a little less, versus if I say if it's okay, yeah, it's
Right.
okay. You know what I mean? Like we're again so scared to. And the other thing that you can do um, is to you can actually just whisper it. The room is quiet enough that part of why we don't want to say anything isn't necessarily we don't want to insult them, but like we don't want to break the vibe. Like it's like so serene and you're like, I don't want my voice to come out in this room. So you can just whisper it. And another thing that actually works is if your body language says it's too much. So I get massages myself regularly, and I have one woman in town that I just absolutely love, and I tried somebody different earlier this week. Not good. But like I kept having to like pull away, you know what I mean? Like, okay, if I tighten that muscle, if I pull away and I spoke up a couple times, she still kept doing it. But usually that that's your first, like, okay, well, if I just tighten up the muscle that she's working on, he's working on, whoever you're seeing, then that's a sign to us immediately, oh, that's too much. Or just saying something. It's fine. You can do it. You can do it. You're paying for it. You might as well have it be what you want.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah.
those are good tips for helping us find a good therapist, someone who's actually interacting and paying attention to our body language or checking in with us throughout it. So those are important things. So thanks for sharing that. Um, and then yeah, that encouragement. It's okay. Speak up. um, so I'm going to shift to some common ailments. So I work with women, obviously, in my women's fitness studio, and so some of the things that I hear complaints about the most, I'm just wondering if you could speak into how massage might help with those. So low back pain, of course, is very, very common. Neck pain, trouble sleeping, um, pain in the SI joint, sciatica, hormone imbalance. And so, are these things that massage could help with long term?
Uh, some yes and some no. They're very qualified, and I'm not just going to do a blanket yes because, again, as a physician, I'm not going to say massage is the answer to everything. Last week, I had a girl with a true herniated disc who came in. I did my best. It's not fixing her disc. She needs to go see a neurosurgeon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to answer Jen's question real quick before we move too far ahead and I forget it. So deep tissue massage should be good, hurt, painful. You should be able to still enjoy it. If you are tensing up under them, if that muscle cannot stay as relaxed as it was when they started, that's too deep. It's damaging the muscles if it crosses into the bad hurt. And you still want to be able to enjoy the massage. So, however deep you can handle that day is fine. And sometimes you can start at a certain level and work deeper as it goes. So, that's one of the reasons I like starting a massage with the ashiatsu, that massage with the feet, is because that allows me to work deeper when I switch to my elbows later without it being as painful. Okay, so uh, ailments. Okay, so ones specifically that often need actual medical attention would be joint pain and hormone imbalances. So, depending on the etiology or underlying cause, um, a lot of those, you may just actually need a medication, or something along those lines. Uh, Knee pain is a thing that a lot of massage therapists wouldn't necessarily feel like they treat. In fact, when I was in massage school, they said, there's no soft tissue in the knee. Don't touch it. You're going to hurt the knee. And so we were taught to stay away from it. I have since, uh, you know, become much more comfortable with my knowledge of the body and stuff. And I will work around the knees there's lots of soft tissue around the knees, not necessarily muscles per se. There are some, but attachment points from these muscles and things that are very, very important to work, and working those helps with the hips and low back and whatnot. So, yeah, so that's so joint pain stuff. So hormone imbalances, one that massage can help with is stress. So we have increased cortisol levels from stress. It can help with that. Is it going to really help, like, balance out as you're, entering menopause? Not really. And even the cortisol, like, is it due to a condition called Cushing's disease? No, that is something that's either happening in your brain or due to taking a certain medication or in your adrenals. Like, I'm not going to get too far into that, but there are, just saying that there are a lot of things that medications are useful for, but going back to how massage can help. Okay, so uh, neck, upper back, lower back, hip pain, knee pain, absolutely. I mean, let's at least try. Even if it is an underlying condition, maybe it helps. Maybe it's an adjuvant therapy instead of just something like, you don't necessarily expect a cure. Sometimes it works out that it does. I was seeing patients from the VA for a while, and I had like 4 come in for referrals for shoulder pain, like internal joint derangement shoulder pain. And I'm like, I wish they would stop sending me this. I can't fix that. I can't fix that. But I worked on the rotator cuff muscles. I have very specific ways that I've been taught to manipulate those, and virtually every one of them saw complete, if not partial, if not complete improvement with that.
Wow.
So, I mean, sometimes it helps more than you think it would, and sometimes you're just like, well, that didn't do much. So just being able to give it a chance. And I have a very short session. I have one that's only 45 minutes. It's a total, 60 minutes of being here, but like 45 minutes of hands-on time where I'm like, if you have a headache, if you have, one thing that you're like, this is my problem area, I want to know if massage can help or not. That's what I would recommend to try. So start that short session, see if we can fix that problem, if it's improving at all. If so, having regular massage for it is a great idea. Sleeping, I've had significant success with those those issues, both from restless leg syndrome and from anxiety. So as we let those things improve, just being able to sleep through the night, do you realize what a basis that is for being able to fix so many other problems?
Yes.
So again, as we're working as a physician, I'd be like, oh, you're depressed, you're, having all these other issues. Well, how's your sleep? Okay, we'll start with, even if we're starting with a sleeping pill for a week to get that, 8 hours of sleep, getting your sleep improved, however you need to do it. Uh, oh, now your body had time to recover. Oh, now you're rested enough where you're not making really dumb decisions again the next day that you're ruminating again before you go to bed the next night. Um, so just anything that makes sleep improved is wonderful. What else? Was there other ones on there? Sciatica, yeah, radiating pain in general, figuring out where the nerves are entrapped. A lot of times you can loosen the muscles that are impinging them, or however the bony structure is pinching down on them as well. Often that can be adjusted, but not every time. So yeah,
Yeah. Well, I was thinking too how you mentioned that massage helps with aligning, realigning, and when we're tight somewhere, then we're pulling elsewhere, and then it's
yes,
causing pain. And so I can see the importance of massage and loosening up one area. We're going to help relieve pain elsewhere, just because it's helping us to get back into proper alignment. Sometimes it's as simple as
absolutely,
that, right? And
yes,
not always. And so again, I think what you've implied to us is that a good massage therapist is going to be able to tell you like, hey, this is something you need, to have seen by a medical professional, right?
and your body will tell you too. If you're
Yeah.
going in for a specific issue, you had that issue treated, is it worse when you're done? And again, I will say that can adjust sometimes. So like, okay, well, I'm more sore afterwards, but it's a different kind of sore. And I feel like it's a little better, but there's still a soreness. Oh, then after a few days, oh, hey, I'm moving better. So sometimes that happens too. So just because it's not immediately better or the next day you're like, whoa, what happened? You probably just need to drink more water next time too. So yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that's so good. Um, and then thinking about how we can be misaligned and massage can help with that, then it also helps with our fitness. Like when we're choosing to exercise, like we could probably move better when we're better aligned for sure. And so
Mhm.
I think that's one way that massage can support our exercise habits. Right?
And flexibility as well. So yeah. So that's so not just working on the knots. A lot of people think, oh, we have to work on the knots, work on the knots. The muscle where the knots are, working on, we'll call them the origin and the insertion. So you have your muscle. The muscle has an attachment point to the bone to stabilize it, an attachment point to another bone that it's going to move. So the belly of the muscles, that red
Yeah.
meat essentially that what we eat when we eat our steaks. But the ends of it are a tendon, and that tendon has a whole bunch of connective tissue that attaches from that and then throughout and around the muscle. So being able to work at the tendons there's a little nerve receptor in the tendons, the Golgi tendon organ, blah blah blah, and some other receptors. So things with working those tissues at the ends of that muscle will help it stretch significantly further. So flexibility after you work on the entire muscle, not just the middle where the knots are, can yeah, increase your flexibility to improve your workouts and lengthen your running stride and things like that.
Awesome. And just improve mobility for daily living, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's so important. That's good. Okay, so what are some signs that our bodies might be asking for a massage?
Okay, so right now, drop your shoulders. Were you holding them up? A little bit, just a
I
little
am.
bit. So that's one. Okay, find the spot. Okay, where the push on the side of your face. Okay, your teeth dent in. Okay, the spot right just past where your teeth dent in. So teeth are denting in here. Go up right in front of your ear. That you should feel it moving when you move your jaw. Yep. Push on that. Does that hurt?
Little.
That's maybe it does. A lot of people that are jaw clenchers, that's one. How about your hands? Let's take this spot here. Squeeze that. Did you just feel, tension release in your body? That's mine when I get stressed. I have somebody else squeeze that for me. Do you feel overwhelmed and anxious?
Mm.
That's a good sign that you could use a massage. Are you achy all over? Do you have specific points that are achy that you're just like, I just, yeah. And how about just have you taken time for yourself lately?
Yeah, that's a
So,
good
yeah.
that's a good one.
When's
Are
the
we
last time you didn't
ready?
have a child attached to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes. Have you just finished a homeschooling year and you need a mental reset? Like, or are you getting ready to start a homeschool year?
yes.
Those
It's the
homeschool
summer,
moms.
enjoy it. You
Yeah,
deserve
or
it.
finishing something major, right? What a great way to
Reward yourself
celebrate or yeah, just reward
and
yourself.
relax it.
Good. Yeah, that's so good. Um, and what if someone's never had a massage before? Like, what are some things that they should know or expect? How can we help them kind of overcome any obstacles that they might be facing? And because I think there's a mindset that massage is just luxury, and so it's not just for the everyday person, or
Yeah.
I mean, and so how can we move beyond that? And
Yeah, and it's interesting to see different the different people who come in for massage. There's certain people that you're like, "Oh yeah, they're a business owner. They can afford it. They have the time." Da da da. Da." And there's other people who are like, "Oh, you clean bedpans at the hospital and you got the monthly membership for the long one because you're just like, I need me time and this is worth it and I'm worth it." And I just think it's so beautiful when they do that. Um, so when you are going in to get your massage, I would say that for the first time, I guess when you do a little bit of research online. Look, don't just get who's closest. I'll pick this one. I mean, look at reviews, their website. Just what are people saying? Do you get a sense that it's going to be worth your time and money, right? I, for me, I choose mine usually based off of recommendations. So because I see people who get massages, right? So like the lady this morning, she's like, I've had hundreds. So who do you go to see? Oh, she goes to see the same lady that I see. Until
yeah,
today. No, she's gonna stay here. But I shouldn't have stolen her. No. Anyway, uh, but so once you get your person selected, uh, see where how long is it going to take to get there, and allow yourself extra time. So we're always racing to things. I will be as close to on time to things as possible, and then I end up, uh, things that I'm supposed to be relaxed for, like a massage, I'm racing to. Um, and it doesn't really help with the point. So,
yeah,
um, yeah, if there is one that's close to where you live that is, a good fit for you, wonderful. Like, enjoy that. I'm in a residential community. I have so many neighbors that will come to me, and it's funny because they're like a block or two away. They drive here because they're like, I don't want to have to drive home after this. I just want to drive I don't
that's
wanna have to walk home, so, yeah. Yeah, so that, so having time so you're not rushed. When you arrive, your therapist should have and then if they didn't have it through a form otherwise, they should, walk you through what to do and talk about what your expectations are. And hopefully at the end of the massage, you're like, "All of my expectations were met." Right? Okay, So after they have a little chat, they should leave the room or leave you alone to undress, uh, and you'll undress typically to only your underwear. So you wouldn't have your bra on typically, and sometimes, and I would say about 50-50 for just wearing underwear versus not wearing anything. That being said, if you're cold, somebody who always has cold feet, you can leave your socks on. Wear just your socks. They can take them off when they get to your feet, but that helps keep your feet warm, which helps keep you relaxed.
Yeah.
And then also taking off your jewelry. If I'm massaging your neck and I'm skipping around your necklace because I'm scared I'm going to break your delicate chain, like I'm not going to do as good of a job for you. So
Right.
yeah, so having your jewelry off is helpful. And they should have a place for you to put those things safely. So yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
safer there than it is on there where I might hurt it. We don't want that. Um, Okay. Uh, most massages will start face down. They'll tell you otherwise if you shouldn't. And under the covers. I've definitely come back to the room a time or two, even after telling them, and they'll be like laying on top of the sheets, and I'll be like, okay, this is so you are supposed to start under the sheets, and as they get to each area of your body, they will uncover just that area. Okay. If you have any areas you don't like worked on, please communicate that beforehand so that they know and will avoid it. Um, what else? We talked about communication already. When they work on you, they'll typically use a cream or an oil. So just beware of that. So if you like, oh, I hate having oil in my hair, let them know, things like that. Um, then
If
once
you have an
massage,
allergy, right, you should communicate if you have an allergy.
absolutely. Yes, especially if it's to, certain tree nuts are in the oils. Like I have cats at my house. I have it, all over my website and in all the communications with them that there are cats. If you have a severe cat allergy, communicate it with me, and we'll decide if you should have massages with me or somebody else. Um,
Good.
and I've still had people that will get them here anyway, and they're like, "Yeah, I just wanted to see, and I left with a swollen eye," and I'm just like, "There were no cats in the room. I keep it as clean as I can, but if it's a severe allergy, it's a severe allergy." So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Um,
good, that's really helpful. Um, and it makes it makes it easier and you can be more relaxed if you kinda know what to expect if you've never had it before.
yes, for sure.
Yeah. And I would imagine it's always your comfort level, right? Like, if you're not comfortable, like, taking off a shirt or something like that, your
Yeah,
massage therapist would work with you.
exactly. And sometimes, just working through the sheet instead of directly on the body. So I'll do that on the hips. Almost always the typical thing I do on the hips is like I will work through it because it's not only is it more modest, but I guess I can work in areas where I wouldn't feel comfortable working directly on the skin. It takes away any chance of like, say I'm working on your upper back and there's a knot, and sometimes you can like flip off the knot, and that's not a thing you want to have experienced when you're working on the hips. Like it's
Yeah.
uncomfortable, and it just doesn't. It's not nice. So yeah, so having the traction of having a flannel sheet in between is, I think, a good thing too. Um, yeah.
Okay, and so then how often would you recommend massage as part of, like, a healthy rhythm for, stewarding our bodies and our souls?
Mhm. Well, for my VA patients who, got free massages every week, like if you get it every week, great. Um, but for most of us, that's not really feasible. So it is, it can be a little cost prohibitive or time prohibitive. So monthly is still really, really great. It is something that, okay, well, that's something I can budget for and find a way. The other thing to do with that is finding a place that does memberships.
Mm,
So before you get a membership, try them out at least once. Make sure you love what they do
yeah,
before you sign up, because otherwise, like, you don't want to be stuck with somebody that's not the best fit, right? But if it's a membership, hey, that's auto, deducted typically. And so, oh, well, it's already paid for. You have to use it. And we
right.
don't have that mental battle monthly of like, "Oh, I just don't have time. I'm just, the kids are more important. They've got this going on right now. Oh, there's this other thing that we're saving." No, it's already paid for. It was taken out. You have to use it. You wouldn't want that to go to waste. So,
Wow, that's
yeah,
fun.
yeah. So I do highly recommend memberships. Plus, they're often a discount. So all mine are currently at like a $15 discount off of the regular price. Um, so, uh, yeah, so that's mine. And then, if you can find some, like, I have my kids walk on my back between my, uh, my professional massages. So even if you don't have this amazing setup where you can have them hold on to some bars and just, lovely walking, just like I would put a thicker blanket behind the couch, and they would hold on to the back of the couch, and I'd be like, okay, walk on my back, do not step on my spine, step on either side of it, and no jumping. And like that, it helps me get, okay, at the end of the day, 5 minutes of that, and they feel like they're helping mom and doing because they are, and it's just really nice to have that. And then I have a couple other things that I just grabbed before the session that I'm like that I use as well. Um, this,
Yes.
my massage ball. Um, I use this quite frequently for my hips and my upper back and my shoulders. I have the style of massages that I do, I end up with a lot of shoulder pain. So I will, lay down, actually lay on the ground, not just against a wall, and I get a lot of pressure in there. So this helps me get through longer between massages, as well as my roll flex, which is a bizarre thing. So that, I mean, that's a $10 or less, right? That
Yeah.
I actually give them away for, I think they're, yeah, usually 5 or something. Anyway, they're wonderful if you get the right one. Rolflex. It's weird. Rolflex. So with this one, you change at the bottom like how tight it is. And so it's say it's there, and then I would stick my hand in here because my forearms get tight, and I would squeeze here, and kind of I can focus in on
Ah,
the spot quite well. So a ball can't really work on my arms and my legs. So
yeah.
the fronts of my shins and my arms, I use that for. That's a little bit more expensive. That's like $80, I want to say, on Amazon. But how much is a massage? And if it can make it so that, oh, hey, this helps me keep up the benefits of the massage between them, and I can do it myself. That's
Yeah.
great, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
that's one I hadn't heard of. I mean, I use tennis balls like on my feet and on my
Hmm.
hands. So that's good to kind of maintain in between. That's really
Yes.
wise. So, okay, so let's finish up with just encouragement. I think we've kind of touched on it, but a final piece of encouragement for any woman who might feel guilty about getting a massage, and then share maybe a favorite verse that you might have while you're doing massage on others.
Okay. Okay, so this is a quote that I just love. One of the most beautiful things you can do for someone is to take care of yourself.
Mm,
Okay, so you're not just doing it for you. If you tell yourself you're doing this so that you can be a better mom, so that you can have, be not as stressed and not uh, explode more than you wanted to when somebody else is talking, a coworker or whatever. If you want to be able to, handle those things better, you're taking this time for you so that you can be better for other people, so you can love more, right?
good.
And just remind yourself you're worth it. God made you a being of high value and worth, right? Honor that. You're worth it. And then something else. This is a really interesting one that it really stuck out to me as of last week. I'm like, I have of the gosh, I want to say it's about 7 or 8 people that I have who have monthly memberships for the longest session, the 130-minute. How many of those do you think are women?
Only one. Interesting.
Only
Okay.
one.
Men.
Yeah, very rarely will women get the longest session, but men have no problem saying that they're worth it. I have yeah, I'm worth it. The time is, this is my time. And I just think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yeah. And actually, that's my special for the month is if you book a 100-minute massage for $15 more, you can bump it up to an entire 130 minutes, which there's, oh my God, the amount of relaxation and things we can work through during 130 minutes of hands-on time is incredible. So it is a 2.5 hour block, which seems so indulgent, doesn't it? But oh, it's just wonderful. So,
Yeah.
oh, then a verse I think of, and when I am praying for my patients, I reiterate that the peace beyond understanding guarding your heart and your mind, like uh, just being able to have that peace and to get to that level. So whether I'm helping to bestow it on them through myself thinking about it for me or for praying it for them. So that's the verse that I use most when I'm giving a massage.
I love that. The peace that passes all understanding. Praise God. Wow. So this was so thorough. I love it. I love your passion for what you're doing and just how knowledgeable you are. And I'm encouraged to go get another massage. And so, um, now for anyone who's wondering, Shannon's in Albuquerque. So if you're outside of Albuquerque, it's going to be a very long drive to get a massage with her. But
I mean, you say this, I have people who fly when they get here. First thing they do when they land in Albuquerque is come to their session.
well,
I
praise God.
have
That's awesome.
3 people that do that. Isn't that cool?
That is
So,
cool.
yeah.
I mean, if you find someone you like, right? I guess I do that when I go visit my mom. Like, she has a gal that's really great, and so I'm like, "Oh, schedule me." And
Yes, yes, and it's
so
a verdant massage here, so I love plants in my life, so lush and green is what verdant means, and that's, what I'm going with. If you are in Albuquerque, I am doing, giving away 3 gift cards next month in August for 7,500 and 130-minute massages, so watch my website for that, about details on how to win, so
awesome. And what is your website? Will you share your website with
oh,
us?
it's, verdantmassage.com.
Okay, that's easy. And I'm sure people can follow you on social media too as well.
I'm really bad about social media.
Okay, then that's good.
Uh,
Stick with the
yeah, and
website.
simplifying my life, I got rid of Instagram and I end up posting more on my personal page for Facebook, Shannon Meissner MacLean, whatever. Follow me if you want there, or friend me and say you've heard me here, and I'll follow you or allow you to be a friend, whatever. And anyway, I'll post those there. But the specials are more than I do through my business one because those end up not per the algorithm not actually showing up for people.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. So then do you have like an email list where you keep in touch with people?
Yes. So if you have ever signed up for a massage, for even if you sign up and you cancel, you'll be on my email list, and you'll get like the monthly. What is the special? What's going on? How do you make the most of what's going on in this little business? So yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. This was so fun, and I learned a lot, and I hope that the women listening learned a lot, and you're just an encouragement for all of us. And so, thank you so much. And that's a wrap, man. We went for a long time. You gave us so much information, and it was such a delight. So, thanks so much. And
Thank you.
in closing, ladies, if you are looking for more support in your faith and fitness, I would love to connect with you. So go ahead and reach out. And if you're not in my studio already, then send me a message and I'd be happy to send you a 7-day trial to my studio so you can continue taking care of your body and your spirit through renewing your mind and stewarding your body with good exercise. So, all right. Well, thanks, Shannon. And hopefully, I'll be seeing you soon.
Bye, Gina.
Bye.